And Bill, give us a sense of just how widespread the destruction was from this storm and where it is now.
Yeah, the wind damage is very evident. I mean, it was 3 million people without power, and that spans from the Fort Myers area to Sarasota to Tampa, right through the I-4 corridor, all the way through Daytona Beach, down to Melbourne, and all the way to Fort Pierce. So this whole region is in the dark right now, and that was right along that track. So the wind was widespread. Rainfall, we had a lot of scattered reports of a torrential rain. There are a lot of rivers, and a lot of that water is now coming down, but we did have people that needed rescue overnight and early this morning because of high water. The one thing that we're still unsure of is just how damaging was the storm surge. We know it was 5 feet high in Naples and Fort Myers, where Jay Gray just told you we had water into buildings. But if it was just like Helene 13 days earlier, then maybe a lot of new additional damage was not done. And that's what was feared, was that this would do a lot more significant damage. The storm itself, it is gone with the next update from the Hurricane Center. It won't be a hurricane anymore. It maybe be the remnants or a tropical storm. So when we look at the last, now the historical impacts of this storm and all the other ones we've had before it, 10 major hurricanes in the U.S. in 8 years. We've had 5 hurricane landfalls this season alone. We're not done yet either. And this was the third Florida hurricane that we've done this season. And the strongest winds were where we had, the landfall, as you'd expect, Sarasota, Venice Beach area. That's where we gusted to 100, where, you saw the roof in the Tropicana field that was destroyed. Likely, since that's off the ground a little higher, it probably had 100 to about 120 mile per hour wind gusts that were involved in destroying it. That wind field of yellow, the strong gust, is beginning to exit. Maybe another hour or two of some squalls on the east coast of Florida, and that'll be about all that's left with it. Daytona Beach still gusting into 30 to 40 range. Same with Melbourne. But the rest of Central Florida, the cleanup has begun. The skies are beginning to clear. And of course, we got 3 million people in Florida without power. And October is no picnic. It technically can get very warm and also get very hot. It's going to be in the mid 80s all week long into the weekend in Tampa and Orlando. And the pictures that you're seeing there on the screen, that's what we expect. We had about 6 to as much as 18 inches of rain. Florida is flat. It's not like North Carolina where the water rushes into between the mountains and the valleys, gets in the rivers and flows through. The water in Florida sits. And it'll be like that for a while. It'll take a long time for that to go completely down and away. That's the Fort Myers area that we're looking at there. That's most likely, since they didn't get a ton of rain, that's most likely what's left of the storm surge flooding that peaked last night about midnight. Storm surge was about 5 foot high in the Fort Myers area. And so that's why you're seeing here what's left of it. A lot of the, purposely on the sides of the roads in Florida, they have those little drainage ditches because they're used to heavy downpours. And you can see some water close to those homes there on the left side of the screen. It didn't look like it was into that home, nevertheless. But, Anna, this is the type of things that we're seeing. And we know that we had water in homes and properties, but it so far does not look like we had properties destroyed.
Fingers crossed, although we do know the winds destroyed some properties in parts of Florida.
Oh, those tornadoes.
These are live pictures right now. Speaking of tornadoes, there was a massive tornado outbreak, right? Have we ever seen anything like that before?
I mean, we've had, I think the record for the most tornadoes was about 134. We know we had about 38 yesterday. So we have had events like this, but I don't know if we've had tornadoes this strong. I mean, you're looking at a wedge tornado right there. And we saw some of these there were multiple large destructive tornadoes. Typically we get much smaller tornadoes and numerous. They move fast. You can even see the debris wrapping around that one there. These were scary. I mean, from how strong and how many of these tornadoes we've seen, I'm surprised we've only had 4 fatalities. A lot of them, must have, missed communities because these may go down as the strongest tornadoes that we've ever seen with a landfalling system.
Incredible. Bill, thank you. Stay close. Our thanks to Stephanie and Jay as well. I know you guys got no sleep at all last night and are still going strong. We appreciate it. Those tornadoes did turn deadly in St. Lucie. And joining us now is Communications Director for St. Lucie County, Eric Gill. Eric, thank you for taking the time. At least 4 people were killed by tornadoes in St. Lucie yesterday, just ahead of Milton making landfall. Do you have any information about who those people were and where they were hit?
Yeah, no, we can confirm that there were 4 deaths as a result of tornadoes yesterday here in St. Lucie County. We don't have additional details to share as far as their ages or what neighborhoods they were in. But we do know that there were 2 confirmed tornadoes touched down in St. Lucie County by the National Weather Service. There were reports of as many as a dozen tornadoes in our area. Of course, you know, the National Weather Service still has to send crews out to confirm those. But the destruction was widespread here in St. Lucie County from those tornadoes. The sheriff's office here in St. Lucie County had a large 10,000 square foot facility, a pole building that was a metal structure that was twisted metal after it went through. And there was a pre-manufactured home community of 55 and up, where we know there were multiple deaths inside that community as a result of that tornado. One of the tornadoes that came through yesterday. Between 4 and 6 o'clock, our emergency operations center received over 900 calls about tornadoes.
Wow, 900 calls about tornadoes, and we're looking at this
In
video.
2 hours.
You mentioned the police department there that was heavily damaged. That's what we're seeing right now on our screen, and you can see how it just crumpled. It looks like it folded in half. Is that impacting police response at all?
Fortunately, no. Most of those vehicles were newer vehicles. There were some heavy equipment vehicles in there, MRAPs that they were able to get out on the road. One of the communities is about 300 acres that we knew we had major damage at last night after the storms passed. We had a window from about 6 o'clock till 11 to get emergency responders in there. So we called in the National Guard and some response from the surrounding counties to go in and do search and rescue on those homes. Get those folks who are without shelter to some of our shelters that we had already opened the day before, as well as the medical attention that they needed.
This was pretty unprecedented, as we were just talking about with Bill. There were 37 or 38 tornado reports, 126 tornado warnings issued across Florida, the most in a single day in the state. As you assess the damage there this morning, beyond what we've shown there with the police department, what else are you seeing? What kind of widespread structural damage did those tornadoes do in St. Lucie?
A lot of wind, a lot of there were vehicles flipped over, semi-trucks that were flipped over, box trucks, power lines are down still. We have about 70,000 residents without power. You know, I've been fortunate to work for this county for 21 years, and I was here in 2004 when we had Francis and Jean, two category 2 and 3 storms that came in within 3 weeks of each other. And the devastation we saw yesterday doesn't compare to what we had then.
Wow. Eric Gale, Communications Director of St. Lucie County. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time. Best of luck in the days ahead.
Thank you.